the Supreme Court sharply weakened the Voting Rights Act. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, April 30th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 is considered one of the biggest achievements of the civil rights era. It bans discriminatory voting practices such as literacy tests and poll taxes, and it has helped increase minority representation in state and federal offices. Section 2 is a key pillar of the act. It allows states to use race to draw maps that help minority communities elect candidates of their choice. Yesterday, the Supreme Court did not strike down that provision, but effectively gutted it. As a result, Republicans could scramble to redraw districts, especially in the South, and that could cost many Black Democrats their seats in Congress. A group of Black Democrats spoke at a news conference yesterday. Representative Cleo Fields, who represents a district in Louisiana, spoke about the historical context of the ruling.
Listen, I'm from a state where in order to register to vote years ago, you had to state the preamble to the Constitution. I'm from a state that basically said you had to own property in order to register to vote. This is not new for me.
The ruling could deliver Republicans a host of House seats in 2028, but the effects could be felt even sooner than that. The Post reported yesterday that Republican Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry is already preparing to suspend his state's midterm election primaries that had been scheduled for May 16th. That would allow state lawmakers to pass a new congressional map before the midterms. Number 2.
Yeah, but what the previous administration did to our economy, what the previous administration did with inflation, you know what's upsetting? I administration did with COVID, and you're going to lecture this administration about the economy?
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth clashed with Democrats in a fiery House hearing. Hegseth appeared in a 6-hour-long House Armed Services Committee hearing yesterday. He was there to defend the administration's request for a record $1.5 trillion defense budget. House Democrats took the opportunity to accuse Hegseth of unjustly firing senior military leaders and misleading the public about the war in Iran. You just heard California Representative Ro Khanna sparring with Hegseth over the cost of the war to American taxpayers. The hearing quickly devolved into pointed and often personal barbs between members of the committee and the Pentagon's combative leader. Here's Hegseth in his opening statement, blaming Democrats for thwarting negotiations with Iran.
The biggest adversary we face at this point are the reckless, feckless, and defeatist words of congressional Democrats and some Republicans 2 months in, I remind you, 2 months in to a conflict. Lest I remind you, and my generation understands how long we were in Iraq, how long we were in Afghanistan, how long we were in Vietnam.
Today, it's the Senate's turn to grill Hegseth. The hearings come as President Donald Trump and Iran are locked in a standoff over the future of peace negotiations. The Strait of Hormuz remains closed to shipping, and both sides are betting the other will blink first. Meanwhile, oil prices surged this morning to their highest level since the war began. Number 3. Most Americans still oppose Trump's White House ballroom project. A new Washington Post ABC News Ipsos poll asked Americans how they were feeling about Trump's $400 million project to remake the White House campus. It wasn't positive news for Trump. 56% of Americans oppose his decision to tear down the White House's East Wing to make way for the ballroom. 28% support the project. Reactions are split among partisan lines, with Republicans more likely to be supportive. Trump has doubled down on his case for the ballroom since the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last Saturday. He says it is needed for security reasons. Republican support for the ballroom did grow after that incident, but overall, there was not a clear shift in favor. Number 4. Jerome Powell announced that he will remain on the board of the Federal Reserve even after his term as chair expires next month. Powell has been under pressure from the Trump administration since the president returned to office last year. Trump wants the central bank to cut interest rates to try and juice the economy. But citing higher energy costs due to the war in Iran, the Fed declined to do that yesterday, instead holding rates steady. Powell's decision to stay on the board will also deny Trump the opportunity to fill another vacancy at the bank. Powell's term as chair expires May 15th, and he said he would step aside once Kevin Warsh, Trump's pick to replace him, is confirmed. But Powell said he intends to continue to serve on the board while the Fed faces legal threats from the government. It's the first time a former chair has remained on as a Fed governor since 1948. Carbon pollution is making food less nutritious. That's our 5th story. Many of humanity's most important crops, like wheat, potatoes, and beans, contain fewer vitamins and minerals than they did a generation ago. Thanks to rising concentrations of carbon in the atmosphere, which are largely caused by burning fossil fuels, things could get even worse. That's because carbon levels are changing the way plants grow, increasing their sugar content and depleting essential nutrients like protein and zinc. By 2040, for example, the chickpeas and rice in a bowl of curry could contain just 17% of the zinc a person needs to consume every day. In 1988, the same meal had about 22% of the recommended daily zinc amount. Experts are concerned that declining amounts of nutrients in our food could lead to a hidden hunger epidemic. Even people eating enough calories might not be getting the nutrients they need. In wealthier countries, people may take supplements or eat more meat to compensate, but that may not be possible in low-income parts of the world. Number 6. Brain scans have revealed 3 different types of ADHD, including a more extreme form. According to CDC data, ADHD affects roughly 1 in 9 U.S. children. In a study published this year, researchers looked at the brain scans of more than 1,000 children and adolescents to learn more about it. They identified 3 forms of ADHD in the scans. 2 of them are more familiar, those who are predominantly inattentive and those who are predominantly hyperactive/impulsive. They also discovered a more severe form that clinicians have been trying to pin down for years. It's a type of ADHD that's marked by emotional dysregulation or difficulty managing and responding to emotions in an appropriate way. One scientist describes such emotionally dysregulated kids as simmering volcanoes. The study offers fresh evidence for reevaluating the medical establishment's definition of ADHD, and it could reveal new insights into treating it. And at number 7, you will soon be able to use the Uber app to book hotels. Uber fans can already use the app to order groceries, deliver flowers, send out dry cleaning, and pick up dinner, as well as its original purpose of getting a ride. But over the next few weeks, a new feature will be rolled out to U.S. users. It's a hotel booking service that will have access to more than 700,000 hotels. At this juncture, you might be asking yourself, do we really need another way to book a hotel? Probably not. But Uber promises it will save you money and streamline travel. Post reporter Natalie Compton tried it out and found some snags in the app. But she did find a better deal for a room on Uber than on other booking sites. She shared a guide on how to get the most out of it. You can find a link to that in our newsletter today. Just think, Pretty soon, you will be able to sit in your Uber hotel that you arrived at in an Uber, eating Uber-delivered food. It's not jetpacks and flying cars, but the future is certainly here. All right, you're all caught up. I know I talk about this a lot, but some of you still haven't done it. If you're a subscriber to The Washington Post, you can get access to our shows ad-free in Apple Podcasts. Simply find the Washington Post channel in Apple Podcasts and connect your Post subscription. If you're not a subscriber, you should become one. Sign up at our channel in Apple Podcasts or through the link in our show notes. Or just go to washingtonpost.com/subscribe. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.